All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Red Thread Ministries. I think this is episode number 4. We're going to be talking about the parable of the vineyard tenants, or the parable of the tenants, depending on which book you're looking at. Brian, how are you, man?
Mine says tenants.
Yeah.
I am well. We are doing well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm
We're gonna
glad to
have a
hear it.
good time.
All right. So, just to cut right to the chase, I'm going to be reading from Matthew. So Matthew 21:33 through 46. I also have I have Luke and Mark pulled up as well, so I could read from them. I just think if memory serves, Matthew is the most detailed in this one. A lot
Okay.
of the parable or the parallels that can be drawn from it, I think are really interesting. Um, so, you have any thoughts you want to get out before we get into the reading?
Not because I just asked you which one you're gonna read from.
Oh, is that?
That's the one we'll do.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, if you want to go through all the other ones, later maybe. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. So we'll go through this one first, and then we can go back and look through, because that Logos program kind of puts them all three in order. If you haven't used it yet, it's fascinating, dude. Such a fascinating website or
I
application.
haven't yet.
Yeah, you need to. All right.
I know.
All right. So Matthew 21:33. So listen to another parable. There was a landowner who planted a vineyard. He put a wall around it, dug a wine press in it, and built a watchtower. Then he rented the vineyard to some farmers and moved to another place. When the harvest time approached, he sent his servants to the tenants to collect his fruit. The tenants seized his servants. They beat one, killed another, and stoned a third. Then he sent another servant to them, more than the first time, and the tenants treated them the same way. Last of all, he sent his son to them. They will respect my son, he said. But when the tenants saw the son, they said to each other, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him and take his inheritance." So they took him and threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those tenants? He will bring those wretches to a wretched end, they replied, and he will rent the vineyard to other tenants, who will give him his share of the crop at harvest time. Jesus said to them, "Have you never read in the scriptures, the stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone? The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore I tell you that the kingdom of God will be taken away from you and given to a people who will produce its fruit. Anyone who falls on this stone will be broken to pieces. Anyone on whom it falls will be crushed." When the chief priests and the Pharisees heard Jesus' parable, they knew he was talking about them. They looked for a way to arrest him, but they were afraid of the crowds because the people said that he was a prophet. And scene. All right. So this one's cool, man.
They're always so triggered.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because
Pharisees get triggered every time.
he's calling them out, man, and they know it.
Every time. And yeah, they can't. They can't not be. You
Right,
know.
right. So when I was reading a bunch of this, I think there's one, it's alluding to them, it kind of dawns on them, I think. So they say, like, God forbid at the end of it, like when as opposed to saying he will bring those wretches to a wretched end. They say God forbid, kind of like they have what's the word I could use here without sounding like a heathen? A coming to faith moment, I guess. Like when they realize that he's attacking them, and they kind of, or he's talking about them, and they kind of just played right into it, right?
Yeah, almost like an Acme kind of situation.
Right, right.
Almost in like cartoonish kind of way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he's saying.
Oh no.
Oh, we don't like you again.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Enough of this Jesus feller.
dude, there's so much imagery in this one. So,
There is. There really is, actually.
and feel free to stop me at any point, but we'll kind of go line by line. So, the landowner is obviously God the Father, right? And to my understanding, the vineyard is kind of earth, like the kingdom that he gave us, right? So it says that he put a wall around it, he dug the wine press, and he built a watchtower, right? So from my understanding of these things, The gate symbolizes God's provision, kind of him separating the status of Israel, or separating the Israelites, like the chosen people, from the rest of the world. And it kind of represents his laws and his covenant, right? Like the moral boundaries and the spiritual protection he offers us. And then,
Sure.
yeah, and then the wine press can represent the expected spiritual fruit of Israel. So kind of like his expectation of what the real spiritual results or fruits should be from his people, the people of Israel. And then finally, the watchtower. It's his protection. Kind of like the watchfulness, the oversight. Like he's always there to watch and protect us. He's never too distant, which is kind of made or brought to
Do
light
you
when.
think?
Hmm? Go ahead.
Do you think this is what these things mean?
Uh, in researching, yeah, it's a lot
Do you
of.
think
They point to
he
these
picked
things.
those things over other things?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
No, no. I looked really far into this. Like I looked through Logos and
That's what I.
a
It
bunch of
seems
different.
like you have,
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have even thought of it really. I mean,
yeah.
I did think of the gate,
Hmm.
but when it comes to the wine press, I mean, okay, you can't even have a vineyard without a wine press. So I
Hmm.
mean,
But
it
you
kind of
can't
just it kind of
have.
just sounds like he's giving you what you need.
Yeah, and it could be that as
You
well,
know what I
right?
mean?
Right. And this could.
That's all I saw it as. It's just him making a place prepared for you,
Hmm.
and he gives you what you needed to do it.
Right.
You know?
Right. And that was the first take that I got on it. Right. But I wanted to look a little further and see kind of what other people thought about it. So you can't have wine without fruit, right? So the
Yeah.
result of that fruit being pressed is the wine. So maybe that's the the I wouldn't call it a parallel, but connection that was trying to be made. If you look at it, so
That's probably why he picked vineyard. Yeah.
right, right, yeah, because fruits, right? It's a
Taking the
recurring theme.
fruit,
Mm-hmm.
taking the fruit, condensing it, making it good.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Man,
that is good. That's
yeah,
some good stuff.
yeah, I like that. But
I actually never thought of it that way.
yeah. So the reason I looked that far into it is because you look at who the owner is. That one's obvious, right? And the son,
Yeah.
if you've read scripture, you know who the son is, right? It's Jesus Christ of Nazareth. The servants, that one I was a little fuzzy on, but what's really cool is they mention beaten, stoned, and killed, right? So the servants are essentially the prophets, right? Not essentially, they are, if you're looking at it in that way, right? So you have Jeremiah, who
Yeah.
is beaten in Jeremiah 20, 1 through 2, for prophesying about the judgment of Jerusalem, right? Then you have Zechariah, who was stoned in Chronicles 24, verses 20 through 21. And then John the Baptist, who was killed in Mark 6, right? And that
Yeah.
Mark 6, 17 through 29, when they sent the executioner to get his head. And then it was offered to the daughter of Herodias, I think it was, on a silver platter. And then she gave it to her mother, right? Because they didn't like what
Yeah.
he's calling him out. So,
Weird, weird thing to ask for.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call that out now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean,
Could have
it's
just asked for his death. Could have just asked him to kill him.
right.
You didn't need his head
Yeah,
brought
dude.
on a platter.
Yeah.
That's going a little hard.
That's well, it's also gross. I mean,
It's a little extra,
yeah. Huh.
as the kids would say.
I guess it's kind of just like
I always thought that was rather weird.
asking for the head on the platter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure it wasn't
It.
as uncommon as you would think.
Yes. That too. What it oddly affirms to me in a way is that in the resurrection it doesn't matter how destroyed your body is.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people worry about like, oh, what if you get cremated?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I think it's fine,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would be deleted just because your body's gone.
Right. Yeah, that's
You're mostly not body, actually. If we're talking about spirit,
right.
body and soul, well, we're spirit and soul
Right. And that's,
as well as body.
well, it's kind of a disservice to think that God couldn't put you back together, right? Like if that was the case,
Yeah,
well,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
like his son came, died from us, and rose from the dead, and you don't think that maybe, I don't know, it's not within his power to make you perfectly whole again? Like,
This reminds me of like the very first teaching I ever did,
hmm,
like in front of people,
yeah,
and it was talking about. I was like, well, if we're gonna go anywhere, we got to decide if you actually believe in God,
hmm,
and that was what my that was a big part of it was just, do you actually believe in God?
yeah,
Do you believe in an all powerful being that created this physical world?
hmm,
And if so, that should change everything.
right, yeah. The the thing that I really wrestled with pertaining to that question is like if you have a hard time accepting that, well, so maybe a lot of stuff in Genesis it could be metaphorical, right? Kind of like Revelation, but also if you can't accept that that stuff could really happen, then do you really believe in an all-powerful God? That's something I wrestled with for a long time because you're kind of
Right.
spitting in the face of your creator if you don't think that he if you don't think that he's powerful enough to do all that stuff, right? Like stuff that kind of bends and defies the laws of science and physics and everything we know because he does exist outside of time, space, reality, all that stuff. So I
Oh
wrestled with
yeah.
that one for a really long time, you know?
Well, science also realizes that when things get very big or very small,
Hmm.
they tend to break the rules of physics, and they don't even know why.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't know. they don't.
Right.
They don't fully know anything.
Right. Well,
One
and
of my favorite quotes from any movie that is non-Christian.
hmm,
Well, it was kind of a Christian movie. There's an angel in it, at least. Saying that science only sees the least in things.
hmm,
It sees the very least that something can be.
mm,
It never thinks about potential, hidden potential, or anything spiritual.
interesting.
It'll show you, they'll tell you what the least of anything is.
Yeah. Well, dude, wasn't I'm probably grossly misinterpreting, misquoting, whatever, but weren't Christians kind of like the ones who started scientific studies and stuff like that? Am I speaking out of school? I can't remember where I
I
read
don't
that.
know. This reminds me of a question someone asked recently that I had never heard asked before. And that if there was never the fall in the garden, we would have never had technology,
Mm,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, is technology bad
Mm-hmm.
if we wouldn't have made it without God? And I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, pretty sure God probably helped us make technology.
Right.
I mean, if he didn't, and you're saying it's all Lucifer
Right.
or something,
Yeah.
well, how does that make sense? And also, I mean, at which stage are you going to say that, something's not bad or something's worse than the other?
Mm,
Like we live near Amish. Okay, you don't. I do. You used to when you were here.
yeah. Right.
There's Amish nearby, and I mean, they still they're in a different time of the world, but everything that they're doing is still of the world.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right.
that's never really made sense. It's like, well, this used to what you guys are doing used to just be the world everywhere.
Right.
So your logic makes zero sense actually. So
Mm, yeah.
They're like, we don't take part of the world. Yes, you do.
Yeah, I've seen them jumping out of vans.
Oh yeah, they're definitely yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what they're thinking.
yeah. I do need to address that I did grossly misspeak. So there was a lot of contribution to science, and it, like universities and stuff founded by the church, always encouraged scientific studying. So did
Yeah.
not invent or create it, but did actually contribute to it. Yeah.
A lot of scientists I think see it as studying God's world.
Mm. And
And
it,
I mean, I I don't think it's weird to learn about science, and it's not that God was wrong about anything because God can't be wrong about anything.
right.
What he can do is not care about the specifics because it would take way too long.
Right.
And also they wouldn't have cared or it mattered anyway.
Right.
You you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, what if the Bible did say all this stuff? Would you believe then?
Right.
A lot of them would say yes, but I think they're wrong
Yeah.
because Jesus said that, even if they see signs, they wouldn't believe.
Yeah. I mean, look at the disciples who followed him and watched everything, and still they had their doubts. That's one thing.
That has always blown my mind.
Yeah. Right.
And it's actually something I actually kind of struggle with
Mm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And like if anything's seems like fake
Mm-hmm.
in the Bible, it's you literally people's reaction to things
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
For example, when they did the trip and they went to the city next, they went to the next city,
Mm-hmm.
assuming Jesus was with them in their traveling
Yeah.
party or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then Joseph and Mary are like, Jesus ain't here.
Yeah.
We got to
Right.
go back,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he's at the church, he's at the temple, and he's like, well, and I heard that this was during a time where um, the boys go out and study under their dads
Mm-hmm.
to do what your dad did,
Right.
because he would have been around 12, so yeah, this would have been like right when he was becoming a man,
Yeah.
in their culture. I forget
Right.
what that party's called, but
Mm.
they do a little party.
Oh,
And so, since it was the time that you're to be with your father and doing what your father does, he was at the temple, and he said, "Well, didn't you know I would be going about my father's business? That's what's going on right now.
oh,
Kids
dang.
are learning their father's business."
Right.
And it said, and then they didn't understand what he meant by this. What do you mean you don't understand what he meant by this? You had this kid without knowing a man. An angel came to you
Right.
saying he's going to be the son of God. You're telling me she didn't know what he meant by that? That blows my mind when it says things like that. You're like, what do you mean? I would know what that means.
Yeah.
We all know what that means. So how does she not?
Yeah. Right.
Because she's the only one that should believe, really.
Right. Absolutely.
Joseph may even still be up in the air about it. He's like, I don't know, really. I don't know yet. But she knows.
Yeah.
She's the only one that knows. They didn't know. Come on.
Right.
She knew. It should say Joseph didn't know what he meant by this.
Yeah.
That's what it should say. That's the one thing I'll give Mary is this one thing.
Yeah. Well,
You knew that. Come
the
on now.
that parallel, I didn't, or that connection, I never made that. Like when they go out to uh, work under their fathers, like for a craft specifically, like you mentioned, and then he was in the temple learning and
Yeah.
speaking.
I heard that like
That's
that time of year that's when they're supposed to do that.
that's awesome.
Like it's time for the boys to, because your dad was your what'd you call it, journeyman or whatever,
Yeah. Right.
and you just become your dad's apprentice.
Wow, that's crazy,
Usually what happens, and he's like, all right, well,
man.
everything that and they always say, like, how do you know this stuff? You didn't even go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, like, God told me all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the funniest things Jesus ever said to me, I think. He's like, yeah, it's because this was just told to me.
Right.
And all I'm doing, he's like, literally, he's like, I'm Simon Says.
Yeah.
He's like, he says it, I say it. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, but how? Like, he's like, I just told you how. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
that's
that guy who he restored his sight, and they kept asking him,
yeah.
asked him like 3 times. He's like, listen, I already told you.
Right. Man. That
A lot of stubbornness and a lot of I don't know,
what always was weird to
but
me
it's funny.
is was him telling, and this is maybe kind of a rhetorical question, but him telling people not to go out and tell what he did for them. He obviously he knows everything, but man, he they just went out and that's the first thing they did after he asked them not to do. That was crazy to me. Although, I mean, it's kind of self-evident, right? This guy's running around when he used to have to crawl, you know. But I just always thought that was a
Right.
strange thing to say because he knew that's exactly what they were going to do. Like that, literally, the first thing they do is run to everybody and tell
Hey, yeah, don't tell anybody.
them. Okay, so what I heard was
Oh, I
that's
think I'm gonna.
yeah. So what I heard was you want me to go run and tell everybody.
They're like, I don't care what you just said. What'd you say
Uh,
there? I'm not doing that.
but back to the readings here. Sorry, we'll bring it back. That was all kind of
Yeah,
related,
I'm
anyways.
so good at going off topic and look at this trail. Can't wait to go down this trail.
Hey man, at the risk of gassing you up, I love hearing what you have to say. Um, so one thing I did find interesting,
Truly never know what's gonna come out of my mouth.
right, like that. I didn't know you were gonna say that. But so when
Exactly.
they decide to kill the heir, apparently at that time, if there was no heir to the inheritance, whoever occupied that space of land specific to land inheritance got the land by default, which is kind of interesting. So they were um, planning to kill him just to get the whole idea was to remove the heir so that they could have it. That's crazy, man. You gotta, huh?
Well, yeah. Well, is that what Lucifer thought?
Yeah,
Did he think
maybe.
he could kill Jesus and like become Jesus because he killed Jesus?
Yeah, I do. You put
Because
that?
as we say, and as I've said, Lucifer killing Jesus, biggest goof of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
No one's goofed harder than when he killed Jesus.
Yeah, yeah,
So I mean, if he thought it was for his benefit, that's that might be the funniest thing to take out of this parable,
yeah.
really.
And as I say that, I have to remember that these aren't real stories. They are just parables that he's telling to illustrate these things. But yeah, that kind of
True.
tempers what I said. I mean, it's crazy in the sense that Satan would actually think that. But I mean, he was cast out because
He
of his
must
pride,
have.
right?
It's
Yeah,
in the parable.
right. Yeah,
Or well, that's just how their culture worked. So
yeah,
he would just talk to them how their culture worked.
yeah. I mean, he's putting it in terms that they would understand, right?
A good context clue though.
Mm-hmm.
In case people don't understand context, my favorite explanation of context is um, someone that's not American would have a hard time telling me the exact difference between a butt dial and a booty call when they mean extremely different
Oh
things,
yeah,
but like very different
yeah,
things.
yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah, but if you were translating it, you'd be like, yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, I hope you never run across a
Like,
situation where you have to translate that. But
I'm just saying
yeah, no, I know,
that
dude.
if you did translate it, you wouldn't know the difference if
Right.
you didn't know the context.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely.
Context matters, people.
It really does, doesn't it? Especially when it comes to this stuff, man. Because
It's all that matters. Just
it,
about, yeah.
yeah, everything makes so much more sense if you have, like, when I was doing this Bible study class online, like teaching you how. So it's like micro observations, macro observations. The macro is I think it's like the where, the region they're in, and then the micro is like the who, the what kind of the culture is at that time. It really makes that stuff so much easier to understand if you can get kind of like a zoomed out view first. Like, I want to say macro is where they were, the times they were living in, and then kind of the culture, and then micro was more the specifics of like who they were and that kind of stuff. But
Well,
I also didn't finish
that
that class,
sounds
so
right.
yeah, yeah, that helped me though.
What
You know, just going through that kind of stuff.
helped you what? Helped you understand stories?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That he was speaking, because a lot of people have that argument, right? But they forget the fact that he was speaking to a specific group of people in a language they understood, in a context they understood for the time they lived in, right?
Yeah.
And
And that once you know that, you can translate that to anything,
right,
you know?
yeah, but I think that's a point of contention for people because they don't understand that. Plus, it's also an easy, you
Oh,
know what I mean?
well, like I just said,
Mm-hmm.
context is very important.
Yeah,
Two words could sound very similar and even sound exactly the same.
right. And I, again, could be misspeaking, so please don't burn me at the stake for this, but it was my understanding that at the time, I forget who it was, said women should be quiet in church, right? I read into that a little bit because that's also a point of contention. Um,
Yes.
I read into that because at that time, I think adultery was kind of running rampant in the church, and he was speaking to the women because they were kind of the purveyors of that whole issue they were having. So he wasn't telling women as a whole because you're a woman to be quiet. It was specific to that group of women because they were kind of perverting the goings on in that church. Does that make sense? And I can't tell you
I've
where I
never
read that.
heard that.
Yeah.
I've
But,
never heard that.
and that's just one definition. And
I've
who
only
knows, right?
heard I've only heard like one person really teach about that all that much, and he was saying that the women of that church, he was saying that all the women sit on one side because in Orthodox churches, all the women sit on one side, all the men sit on the other side,
I did not know that.
and the women would like be confused about things
Mm-hmm.
and would be like trying to ask their husband across the hall
Ah, okay.
what they meant. And he was like, "This isn't for you to speak, woman.
Yeah.
You can go home and talk to your husband at home."
Interesting.
That's what I heard that it
Wow.
meant.
Huh.
Was it just means to not be disruptive during the service.
Interesting. Yeah, and I'm not saying, full disclosure, I'm not saying I subscribe to what I said. I just thought that was an interesting
It would be
take.
cool. No, it'd be cool to have an episode on looking into these issues that people have, these contentions, as you
Right.
were saying.
Right. It kind of
And we
relates
should
to the
do that
context.
sometime instead of completely diverting yet again to something else,
I mean, it all
like
kind
a
of ties into it.
ADHD brain or something.
Yeah. And to be fair, it would probably be better to do multiple parables at once, but this kind of just lays the groundwork, and then we can kind of build and discuss off that. That's kind of the whole point, for me at least.
Yeah,
And then
it is.
and then when we talk, we can kind of tie it back in. But to tie it back in, the maybe not so obvious, the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The Lord has done this and is marvelous in our eyes. So from what I understand, this cornerstone is symbolic of Jesus because he is the main stone in the foundation of the church. Now I could be a little off
Yeah.
base, but
Well, the cornerstone's the most important part
right,
of any archaeological piece.
right.
Why to say, is that the right word for that? Anyway, it holds it all together. Without the cornerstone, it falls apart.
Yeah, exactly. And
An arch,
that's
like an archway.
mm-hmm,
If people don't know what I'm talking about, like let's say you have two pieces of an archway
mm-hmm,
that come together at the middle, you need a big cornerstone there that'll push on both sides and keep it stable.
right.
And that's a really important stone. So he's saying, well, the stone that was cast out, that's actually the most important one.
Yeah. Right.
um,
Yeah, man.
so we need that. Bring
Yeah,
it
but
back.
and that goes back to it being written to the times, right? Like we don't necessarily understand all of that stuff. So if I was just reading it that at face value, I wouldn't understand it. That's why I'm thankful that there are people who are way smarter than me, who have actually read deeply into and learned the traditional languages and all that stuff. Because I wouldn't know what that means. Yeah, the owner being God the Father is kind of obvious. The Son is Jesus, if you put that together, right? But the stone the builders rejected, like, would you really put that together? Or, the servants, if you didn't know about the prophets and how they were killed? Because I didn't know. I didn't know that that was the case at all. Um, I didn't know because I haven't made
I
it to
mean,
Jeremiah or Zechariah yet. But
I knew that it was talking about the prophets in general, or just there's a lot of prophets that aren't treated well,
mm-hmm.
and you don't need to know the Bible well to know that.
Yeah,
So,
right.
but also we know that I mean, anyone that's not the Son of God would be a serpent.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's a lot of us.
yeah,
So it could just be anybody.
yeah.
Like
Well,
anyone could come with the real message,
mm-hmm.
and you'll kill them.
Yeah,
So if certainly not my son.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy, dude. But I mean, the tenets, for anybody who is unclear, were the Jewish religious leadership who rejected Jesus. So the Pharisees, and I think the Sadducees, however you say it. Um, but it mentions the new tenants, which would be presumably the Gentiles, right?
Yes,
Bringing us into the
that's
mix.
that's when they get real mad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like the one where you've got the parable of the
mm-hmm.
party or whatever. I
Right.
don't know what it's called.
Yeah. No, I know
Where they're
exactly what you're
like,
saying.
we got more room.
Yeah.
The
The
my
banquet.
people don't want in. Well, yeah, the banquet.
It's actually the next parable. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We got more people. It's the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not going to accept me, they will.
What So what? The only part of that parable, if you want to jump into that one real quick, that I don't understand is how did you get in here without the wedding clothes, friend? Uh, he noticed a man who was not wearing wedding clothes. So does that mean he noticed someone who wasn't a believer at his party? Because then it
Hmm.
says they tie him up hand and foot and throw him outside into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And that line is throughout the Bible. I think New Testament quite a few times.
It always represents hell.
Mm-hmm. Right. So for many are invited, but few are chosen. So is that kind of what that's referring to, I guess, as I read it out loud? Those I invited did not deserve to come. So go to the street corners and invite the banquet anyone he
Well,
finds.
it's talking about people that just reject Christ in general,
Yeah.
and how they're struggling to find people that do,
Mm.
because people don't. That's kind of how I always saw it.
Yeah, but I'm
To
hung up.
simplify it,
I'm hung up. Wow, dude. Oof. I am hung up on how did you get here without the wedding clothes, friend? The man was speechless. The king killed the attendants, tie him, then throw him out. So I'm assuming that means he rejected Christ, but went in anyways? Like showed up to the party anyways?
he didn't belong. Well, he stood out.
Yeah. Which is not a good thing, huh?
What are you doing here? This is well, I mean, if it's representative of the wedding, our wedding feast with God,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's interesting.
then I mean, if there's a non-believer in there,
Yeah, how'd
he
you
doesn't
sneak in
fit
here?
in.
How'd you sneak in here, fella?
How'd you get in here?
Uh, So,
Is Peter not guarding the gate again?
falling asleep, dude. Uh, Let me see here.
Actually, that's where John MacArthur is right now. They're still talking.
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks now.
Yep.
Peter's like, man, I'm learning a lot of things from this John MacArthur guy.
Yeah.
Got a
So
lot to say.
maybe I should have shared my screen so you could see the layout of logos. But Mark,
That's fine.
I can read through Mark and Luke real quick just so we can see the differences. Because I don't think Mark. Oh, no, he does mention that the one was killed. Yeah, okay. So Mark 12, 1 through 12. Um, and he began to speak to them in parables. A man planted a vineyard and put a fence around it and dug a pit for the winepress and built a tower and leased it to tenants and went into another country. When the season came, he sent a servant to the tenants to go from them some of the fruit of the vineyard. And they took him and beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Again he sent to them another servant, and they struck him on the head and treated him shamefully. And he sent another, and him they killed. And so with many others, some they beat and some they killed. He had still one other, a beloved son. Finally he sent him to them, saying, They will respect my son. But those tenants said to one another, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance will be ours. And they took him and killed him and threw him out of the vineyard. What will the owner of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the tenants and give the vineyard to the others. Have you not read this? Have you not read this scripture? The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And they were seeking to arrest him, but feared the people, for they perceived that he told the parable against them. So they left him and went away. And
Hmm.
then, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading from the English Standard Version, and sometimes it gets a little, I don't know, it gets me tongue tied a little bit. So finally, Luke 29 through 19. And he began to tell the people this parable. A man planted a vineyard and let it out to tenants and went into another country for a long time. When the time came, he sent a servant to the tenants so that they would give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the tenants beat him and sent him away empty-handed. And he sent another servant. But they also beat and treated him shamefully and sent him away empty-handed. And he sent yet a third. This one also they wounded and cast out. When the owner of the vineyard said, What shall I do? I will send my beloved son, perhaps they will respect him. But when the tenants saw him, they said to themselves, This is the heir, let us kill him, so that the inheritance may be ours. And they threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. What then will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those tenants and give the vineyard to others. When they heard this, they said, Surely not. But he looked directly at them and said, What then is this that is written? The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Everyone who falls on the stone will be broken to pieces, and when it falls on anyone, it will crush them. Surely, but they looked
Yeah,
directly at him. Hmm.
they wanted his glory.
Yeah.
I think that's what that's saying there actually.
Yeah, it's.
When you read it now, that makes the most sense to me when it says they want his inheritance. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's what they
maybe
were all
that's all they
about, right?
meant
Yeah.
was like we don't want him to be the Messiah.
Right.
We want to be the Messiah.
Yeah.
So we're just going to kill him and act like he didn't say he was the Messiah.
Yeah. That's.
Because he's totally not, because we know. Because we're the Pharisees. Duh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's kind of strange how different Mark and Luke's versions of that are. Because Matthew to me seems the most descriptive. Because you could draw the beatings, the stonings, the killings. This one they kind of struck him on the head, but that to me would be like stoning, right? Because they throw rocks
It's
at your head
because
essentially.
overall, it's the exact same message.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I would often say that a lot of what you said before was just perhaps looking too far into it just for the fun of it.
Yeah, and that could be it as well. Really.
But because otherwise, I mean, it just is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that stuff I always think is cool. Like, I wonder where they get that
It's
information.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that
A
was,
lot of preachers do that.
yeah.
They're like, we're going to nitpick everything
Yeah.
because I'm out of things to talk about. That's usually what it feels like. Is that well, you're really you got bored, didn't you?
Yeah. But I kind of,
That's always been the way. I don't mean to be rude about them,
right.
but I'm like, well, the message is still pretty much the same anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's something I kind of wrestle with too. Like, looking that far into it, at some point it becomes what it actually says versus kind of leaning on your own understanding, right? So
Yeah,
so that's why I think it's neat, but I don't wholly subscribe to all of that stuff because that to me is kind of a gray area between leaning on someone else's understanding, right? Someone outside of Christ. So that's, I don't know. While I enjoy looking into it and entertaining those ideas, I don't know if that's like the depth at which we should look into these things, you know?
I mean, either way, it's still the same message.
Yeah. But,
Not to say that Jesus didn't teach things and they were super deep.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of that,
Yeah.
but also there's a lot of not that. There's a lot of just, if you understand, if you have the spirit, you'll understand the parables. It's kind of how it works.
Right. That worries me too because I don't always understand them. So then I get hyper fixated on that.
That's fine. We're going through all of them.
Mhm.
Every single one of them, bud.
Yeah. Well, another thing I found was cool is how this is echoed in Isaiah. I think it's 5:1 through 7. It's kind of, here, let me bring it up. Yeah, the vineyard of the Lord destroyed. Yeah, let me sing for my beloved my love song concerning his vineyard. My beloved had a vineyard on a very fertile hill. He dug it and cleared it of stones and planted it with choice vines. He built a watchtower in the midst of it, and he hewed out a wine vat in it. And he looked for it to yield grapes, but it yielded wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge between me and my vineyard. What more was there to do for my vineyard? Well, it goes on from there, but the first couple lines, it's crazy because his parables, to my knowledge, always harken back to the Old Testament, right? In some form, proving that he is coming to fulfill these prophecies and things. Or am I
Right?
completely off base?
I don't know. I don't know if there's one for every parable
That is a good question.
because I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked into that. That'd be cool. I've got a lot of comparison charts, so I would love to have another.
Yeah, well, I pulled that straight from Logos because it'll also show you like when he draws on imagery from those things, they put it in like which part of the Old Testament he's drawing from. So I thought that was super interesting as well.
What does Logos say Jesus wrote into the sand?
Good question. And sorry if I seem a little off today. I don't know. I haven't been sleeping well.
Did you say something? I didn't
No,
hear
I feel not with it today. Like a lot of
anything. Oh,
ums and a lot of
yeah,
not
yeah.
talking.
We're both kind of off it today,
Yeah. But
but
I fear
that
for,
doesn't mean we don't do it.
yeah. Well, I fear if we don't, then we fall out of the rhythm. So this may be more of an
True.
uneasy listen for people, but it keeps us accountable.
No, I think we're fine. It's all good.
Oh boy, this could take a minute to find. So do you have any filler? Let me see here.
There's
Passage or topic?
always things to talk about. Well, I mean, I can talk about. I've heard so many people say so many different things
Uh-huh.
about what Jesus writ into the sand, because it doesn't say.
Well, let's see here.
And to me, to me, it always seemed obvious, but then no one ever says what I think he wrote. so it must not be obvious at all, because I think what he was doing was he was writing everyone's sins down,
Oh, that would be real
because
cool.
he was like, whoever's without sin, let them cast the first stone. He just starts writing down sins. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No,
And
that's a good
and
point.
like every single person that saw their sin, they're like, yeah, I can't throw the stone. And like every single word, every single sin that he wrote down would have convicted them until they all left.
Mm,
Until he writ the sin down of every single person that was there.
dang.
And
Yeah.
he's like, well, where'd everyone go? He's like, well, they left. He's like, all right.
Well, that solves that.
I also don't judge you. Go and sin no more. That's an important part.
Yeah. And at once he wrote, reached
And
down.
by that, I would say he means don't live for sin. Don't go and plan another, affair.
Yeah. Let me see. Here, I found it.
That's not saying go and now live a perfect sinless life somehow.
Right. That's
It's saying
important.
go and change your ways, or try to the hardest you can. And as you do it, I will be with you.
Yeah. It's hard, man.
What's hard?
It's just life.
The path,
Yeah.
living life on hard mode.
Actually,
Um,
it,
yeah, I would.
your
Maybe
take.
we're not good teachers. Maybe
Well,
we're not good teachers for this anymore.
yeah, maybe.
Because I would say that I'm probably not happier.
We.
Like I don't know, but I feel like a lot of that is my own fault,
Hmm.
and that's why we're doing this,
Yeah.
because I need more fellowship.
Hmm.
I need I'm not having fun being a Christian because I feel like a lone Christian in the world.
Yeah.
There's not many of them around me,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm limited in the things I can do for that reason, I guess. I don't know.
No, that
I
makes sense.
know that Christians can go and have fun. I'm not saying that that's that's not I'm not saying that.
Right. Right.
I'm just saying that here it's lonely,
Hmm.
and it's not like I people talk about feeling the joy of the Lord all the time, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really feel the joy of anything.
Yeah.
Much of ever.
Yeah. No, I get that, man.
Very rarely does God really touch me, and I'm like, oh, you almost pass out
Yeah.
from. Feels like He just laid His hand on you,
Hmm.
and I live for those moments,
I know.
moment to moment. It's like, man, and when it ends, I'm just like, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next one. But other than that, it's I would just I feel a bit guilty feeling that way a lot of the
Right.
time,
Yeah.
and being like, you guys should totally come to Jesus,
Yeah.
and they'd be like, well, you're not even having fun. I'm like, well, I am, you know,
Yeah.
I'm only not because I'm an idiot, you know.
Well, yeah, I think at least for me, I'm attacked the most when I'm alone. So if you're just alone all the time because there
I'm
isn't
alone all the time.
right,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, it's just
yeah.
constant
I feel
spiritual
that
warfare.
because I was just telling my mom earlier today. I was like, I need a new roommate,
Yeah.
and not even for financial reasons,
Right.
even
No.
though that would be nice.
Yeah.
I, but it literally wasn't even why I was talking about it.
Right.
I was like, man, I could just use a roommate. again.
Yeah.
Have someone to talk to. Have cook a meal with somebody.
Right.
My goodness.
Yeah. I obviously take that for granted because I have screaming kids and a wife.
Right.
So, but I will say I do understand on a level that when they are gone for extended periods of time, everything is definitely lonelier. Like the house is empty, there's no noise. Like so I can definitely
Yeah.
identify with you on that level.
Well, I have a dog at least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Start preaching
One of my
the gospel.
one of my favorite thing. What?
You can practice, you know?
You can teach Scribbles.
Yeah. Why not, dude?
Scribbles loves Jesus.
Yeah.
You know.
And I believe that.
I've already prayed many times to Jesus that when Scribbles dies, take him to heaven.
Yeah. He's a good boy, man. I think.
People may say, I don't think animals all go to heaven. I think the the elect. I
Mhm.
I think Christians that love animals can pray for those animals to go to heaven.
That would be great. I'd like to see some
Why do
wild
I
dogs.
believe that? I don't know. It's because we know that there are animals in heaven, right? I think we can probably prove that in with the garden, maybe, or there's the living creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's creatures in heaven,
Yeah.
and that'd be awesome. Have a little screwy boy.
Yeah. Man, to your point about not being happy all the time, and I feel an immense amount of guilt. Like when I'm really on fire and I'm getting deep into it and listening to sermons and writing stuff down, there will be periods of time. It typically only lasts like half a day or something where I come home and I'm like, man, I should be reading scripture or something from this theology book, but I just don't have the energy, dude. I'm like all spiritually tapped out. And that makes me feel insanely guilty because I don't.
Well, I talked to you about that earlier.
Yeah.
We talked about this before, and there's no reason to feel bad about that.
Yeah. But I do, you know?
Jesus taught sermons, and then he went and chilled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even he, because that's how being a human works.
Yeah. But it's like, how do you go from being on fire, like legitimately? When I was writing some of these notes this morning, I was feeling it, dude. I was pumped up, and then it came time to record the video, and suddenly I have no energy, and it feels like I'm putting forth low energy, and I'm stumbling over everything. But how do you go from being on fire like that to the exact opposite? It's not like, oh, I don't want to be a Christian anymore. It's just like I don't know that I could handle opening my Bible and reading through these passages. Like I have no, it's like a mental fatigue almost, but I feel such
Huh?
immense guilt over that.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that,
Yeah.
and I felt that plenty when you got like, yeah, your Bible on the desk, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, hmm,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to read that right now.
Right. Right. It's just I, I don't know where it comes from. But it doesn't make much sense to me. You go from on fire to not. I don't know if that's something specific to us or not, but maybe it's too much all at
Doubt
once.
it.
You know what I mean? So
Spiritually overstimulated.
yeah, yeah, that could be it. But I mean,
I don't know.
all of my music right now is like bloodlines or like sermons. That's almost all that I've been watching a couple of shows while I'm playing video games or something, but it's just like I don't listen to really anything outside of like non secular music and sermons. But I really enjoy that, man. I love listening
And
to
I
that stuff.
listen to a lot of secular music, but it's music that the lyrics aren't blasphemous.
Yeah, right.
I
Right, right.
listen to a lot of happy music.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think it's bad. You know, I have a conviction to not listen to things that takes the Lord's name in vain. That
Mm-hmm.
always upsets me.
Right.
It makes my ears cringe so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you didn't have to say that.
No.
And
No.
the only reason why you do is because it's a sin
Mm-hmm.
to do it. And Lucifer made it a thing that we say.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, hey, you're not supposed to say it. So, hey, everyone, let's start saying it. Am I right? Am
right.
I right, everybody?
Let me make it cool.
You know,
Well, I.
let me make it cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I.
Let me make it roll off the tongue.
Yeah, dude. Well, I listened to this preacher try to justify using GD specifically, and he did it
Yes,
in a way that was like, "Oh, I want him to condemn this. That's why I'm saying it." I'm like, I don't know that that means what you think it means, because you are just justifying not being in control of yourself. I mean, that you can't control the words that come out of your mouth like that. Now, to be fair,
there is.
I slip up. I do. But
I've
it's not.
totally heard that guy say that.
Oh, did you?
I know
Okay.
exactly what you're talking about, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen that in years and years and
Yeah.
years and years.
Right.
But I totally remember it has to be the same guy because it sounds just like him.
Yeah. But
Um,
I don't slip up with GD or JC. I do not say
right.
those words, but I will say other things sometimes, in the heat of the moment. But I've gotten way better at, and I do, when I wasn't actively uh, reading the Bible and being a semi decent Christian, I guess that feels kind of awful to say, but
I only know one song. Maybe this will sound weird.
mm-hmm.
I only know one song that says GD that it actually sounds okay.
Really,
That makes sense.
yeah, like they're using
And if
it in that way.
they're using it in a way that's not that bad,
Mm-hmm.
and I think maybe I'll show it to you later to see what you think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
dude, I was guilty of using that
no,
a lot.
but I would say really because
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
I would say that I've always not liked it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I was bad
yeah,
about it, man.
I would say it sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is very easy to say. As far as swear words are concerned, that
You can
one,
say daggone. You
yeah,
can say daggone
right,
instead.
yeah.
You can just start saying reckon a lot, like I do. I say reckon all the time.
Well, I try to even
I reckon.
stay away from like Gyosh because you're kind of in the same ballpark, right? It's kind of you're getting close. You're towing that line, so I don't even want to be anywhere near that line. So I try
What
to just.
about saying geez?
I do say that sometimes. Yep, yep.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
Well,
That's probably the
that's
worst of them,
totally saying why? Why?
huh? I mean,
Why is that the
it's
worst?
it's
Saying
almost
geez,
well, it's basically just
like
shortening.
Morty. Oh, geez.
I don't know. Dude. I just try to stay away from it because I know where that's led me in the past. It used to be a very innocent G's, and then it turned into something. Uh,
Oh, sure.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Sure. I mean, that's why I was asking. I also think it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying it's great.
So I just, I say
I
jerk.
fall into I fall into saying geez all the time.
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
yeah. It's just, it's so much closer to me than gosh dang it or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like that one is unmistakable to me. But that's it's hard, man. That was one of the biggest things I struggled with is to stop swearing so much, especially saying the easier to say ones. I don't know why. Maybe that was by design that they're easier to say than, you know what I mean? Because it kind of just rolls off,
Maybe,
you know?
dude. For some reason, I'm liking this conversation.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
that. I
I
mean,
like it.
well, you know
It's
me
fun.
from before. I used to view swear words as sentence enhancers, right?
Cement.
So
Well, I don't know if anyone curses as much as me either, dude.
I mean, we used to get going, dude.
Mostly with the F word. I
Yeah,
used to say
right.
the F word a lot,
Oh yeah,
a lot.
yep.
Like I wouldn't like it was 80% of
Oh
the curse
yeah.
words that I would say.
Oh dude, I'm the same way. In fact, let me tell you a story, man. When I was early on in my military career, when I got ready to leave my first base in Italy, I they give you these awards, right? And on mine, for some reason, they gave me like my top sayings or something like that, or maybe no, I'm sorry. It was when I left the fitness center when I worked there, the gym. Um, and like the top, they gave me like the top three that I said, and the top one was like, "You've got to be S-ing me," right? Like that's how much I said it. that they put it on a plaque.
Put on a plaque.
Yeah,
Well, he says this all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Let's put it on a plaque so he never forgets it. It's like, dang, that kind of, even back then it made me realize I was like, oh, maybe I should not say
Oh
that so
man.
much. Yeah, but I mean, it only got worse from there. So obviously, it didn't last too
Yet
long.
again, that's something. That's something I would never say.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, because I would have went with, I would totally would have replaced it with the F word.
Oh yeah. Well, so
I didn't. Rarely say any of the other words.
yes,
like really.
yeah. Well, there. Yeah, dude. If I did say the other words, they
I
were
would have said,
likely
"Are you effing kidding me?" or
right.
something like
Yeah.
that. You know.
Most of my swear words were reinforced with the F word. So yeah, I mean, I understand that. I do.
Yes, seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say that it's hard to say that saying curse words is a sin.
Yeah.
I don't even know. So I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable, and I'm not even too sure how that is all that bad,
Mm-hmm.
unless except that it's just the way people that are bad talk.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You know what I mean? It's just a
yeah.
cultural thing,
Right.
really.
And I don't know that those words existed in that time. So it could have, because I think it says specifically not to swear, right? So that could have been like swearing
But I
to something, you know?
but that should be swearing an oath.
Right.
That's what that should mean.
Yeah, that's what I think now that I'm saying it out loud as well. Or that's where I was trying to go with that. Because it says you shouldn't make a promise to the Lord. You shouldn't swear on anybody's name or promise on anybody's name. It should
Yes.
be enough that you just say what you need to say, right?
You let your no be no and your yes be yes.
Yeah.
You should just do the things that
Right.
you say. You shouldn't need to back it up
Mm-hmm.
with saying some crap,
And
just a bunch of crap.
yeah, that and you're inevitably going to break a promise or something you swear to the Lord. So it's just like, what's the point, you know? So don't even do it because it's probably pretty
True.
understood that you're gonna.
And then you're gonna feel bad about it.
Oh, dude, I tell you, that's like I told you, I made that promise about nicotine. I mean, I haven't used it since I made that promise, but that was something
Oh,
that,
really?
yeah, oh yeah, it's been a couple months now.
I thought you were gonna maybe talk yourself into it.
I did, and then maybe I didn't tell this to you.
Oh, right. She got mad.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I did. I think I told that on the last episode, but
Yeah, your
yeah.
wife got really mad.
Mm-hmm. So, dude,
Right. She's helping you.
yeah, right. And I mean that, like I said, that kicked the whatever addiction switch I had. It kicked that off because I think I said last time the only time I thought about it was to think about how I haven't thought about it, and that's kind of the extent of it. So now I,
Okay, I like this. I also need a wife to tell me to not do things. So any of you ladies out there, I know you. I feel like that may have been an attractive thing to say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, tell them what to do. Yeah, but no, just that all that is having an accountability partner.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I asked and I received because before I was heading out, there was still an immense amount of guilt because I'd made that promise, and sure enough, he delivered on that one with divine swiftness.
I don't even know how you can miss that stuff. This is nicotine. I hate it.
um, I
Not a fan.
it made me talk a lot, and it helped me think more clearly. I'm not a big talker,
Mm.
although in some of the videos I've done, it may not sound like that, but um, I really struggle in social situations sometimes because if there's no one talking, or if I'm talking to someone and there's dead air, I will, or like a silence, it makes me uncomfortable. So I'll dumb myself down and make myself look stupid and just say something stupid just so that there's no gap in the conversation, right? So I'm sure half the people I meet
Yeah.
think I'm a truly dumb individual, and that's fine. Something something, be humble, but I think people underestimate me sometime, and that's my own fault, but I just can't stand it, dude. I can't stand when there's an awkward amount of silence. I don't know where it comes from or what. Maybe I think that they're judging me in that silence, and I used to be vehemently insecure, so that's probably where that stems from, but
Maybe.
I can't stand it. It just really
I think
irritates
it's
me.
pretty common. I think it's really common to not like it.
Yeah, but you should be comfortable in silence. It's not.
The only person that I ever felt comfortable in silence with, like over the phone, was my grandma
Yeah,
because she's just an old timey lady, didn't talk fast,
yeah.
and sometimes it's just time to not talk for 30 seconds, and that's fine.
That that stresses me out. I think my heart rate's elevating right now as we talk about it. Because even with family
It's kind of
members, I can't do it.
filling me with some kind of feelings, really,
Yeah.
because I love my grandma. She's been gone, uh, wow, a long time.
Was it you that I was
Was
talking
that like
about? She
16
helped you with your
years?
faith? Was she a religious woman? Or am I?
Not overly,
Oh, okay. I'm crossing my wires then, maybe.
but she was a believer. She
Hmm.
was a believer. She would confess that. She never went to church. I never even really. She would read the Bible, I do believe,
Uh huh.
but not a lot. But if you made fun of it, she would get really mad. Remember that because one of my friends would making fun of something. I forget.
Hmm.
She's like, I don't like this. You're making fun of my religion.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I wasn't trying to, but Joey definitely was.
Uh huh.
Uh,
Yeah. What's also to that end? It's also very funny how Christianity gets to be the punching bag for uh, people's enjoyment, but you can't talk about
yeah.
anything else. Only Christianity, right? And I think there's something to that.
Oh, right. Because anytime I argue with people on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook at least,
Mm-hmm.
well, they always go to your profile and try to find something, and
Right.
they'll see where I'm a Christian. They're like, you say this as a Christian,
Yep.
the dirt, dirt, dirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't even know what being a Christian is.
Right.
You're proving that by you saying this.
Yeah.
You think I'm just can't do anything?
Right.
Think I can't say anything? I could give you scriptures as to why I'm supposed to say things to you right now.
Right. Yeah. And the idea that we're supposed to be infallible when it's clearly written that we're not going to be. Like there's
Yeah,
a whole part of the Bible where someone had to come die for us to redeem us, you know? So it's
I
like,
haven't even read it.
and I mean, that goes
They
hand in
don't even know
hand.
what that means.
Yeah.
I guarantee you half the people don't even know what that means. He died for me. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't.
And then there's the whole awkward moment where you got to tell them that Christianity kind of came out of a blood sacrifice religion,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that kind of they go, what?
Yeah. Right.
And you're like, yeah, the Jews, they didn't do blood magic per se.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it kind of, it almost seems bad
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. No, it does. Reading through the Old
Yeah,
Testament, it does.
it's funny that people don't mention this, but when you're teaching someone brand new, knows nothing,
Mm-hmm.
you got to explain why the sacrifice happened.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they used to sacrifice animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean? Okay, well,
Yep.
you know what's funny is that modern Jews don't do that anymore. Why is that? I actually don't know.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Why don't they sacrifice animals anymore if they don't believe in the Messiah?
Wow. Oh, did they switch it out for something else? I would imagine. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm an idiot in this regard. I have no idea. Asking a question for us to answer in the next episode.
Mm.
I think I've actually heard Ben Shapiro say why,
Really?
but I don't know what that was. I don't remember. Probably because it seemed silly or something. I don't know.
Ah. So, according to Chat GPT, so take this for what it is, right? Um,
Yeah.
Jewish people no longer make blood sacrifices because the temple in Jerusalem, the only place sacrifices were permitted according to the law, was destroyed in 70 AD. Since then, Judaism has evolved to focus on prayer, repentance, and good deeds instead of animal offerings. That actually does make sense to some extent.
But I
Um,
thought they could sacrifice animals to altars. Maybe
yeah.
I'm wrong.
Well,
Maybe I'm wrong. I
was that
must be
prior
wrong.
to the temple being built? Maybe
Probably.
in Jerusalem. That's probably where that. I'm sure if you dug further into it,
Hmm.
um,
So if they make a new temple in Israel,
the second temple
they would
was
have to start it
destroyed.
back up.
Well, so this one says the destruction of the temple 70 AD. The second temple, so I guess that was the second one, was destroyed during a Roman
Hmm.
siege. So without it, they could no longer make sacrifices because it does forbid
Yeah,
them.
we're waiting on the third temple.
Yep.
The third temple needs to happen for the end of the world to happen. So when people go, the end's coming, I'm like, well, where's the temple?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't even started
Mm-hmm.
because it takes a long time to build a temple.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen stuff get built, but they sit around doing nothing a lot.
Yeah. Well, have you
So
seen the thing about the red heifers? I don't want to get too far into it because I don't know much about it. But apparently
I heard that
they
they
got
picked some out, but
yeah.
why would they pick them out already?
I don't know. But I thought that was interesting that that part has happened.
Well, there's definitely people that would be breeding them and watching out for that exact reason. So I mean,
Mm.
that would almost be one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, the prophecy is going to fulfill itself
Yeah.
because people can read it and then they can just do it.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, that's not that impressive,
Mm.
you know, and I could see people saying that.
Yeah.
You're like, well, it only happened because they knew it, and so they did it to fulfill it themselves.
Mm.
Like, okay, I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
but not all of them are that way. 'Cause some of them are
Interesting.
things that no one would want to do.
Yeah.
What about the ones that are bad?
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm hung up on reading this because it says rabbinic Judaism is adapted after the destruction. The religious leaders, mostly Pharisaic, Pharisee rabbis, restructured Judaism to survive without the temple. They emphasized prayer, repentance, good deeds, and study of the Torah. So,
Yeah, they care about acts. They care about good works.
yeah, but
They think they think works gets them into heaven
well, that doesn't show that they made
and
the
repentance. I mean, they do ask for forgiveness of sin,
yeah. Well, no, they
just
don't.
not in the name of Jesus.
It looks like they restructured it without divine. inspiration. Does that make sense? Like, I don't see where
Yes,
God
like
told
God
them,
didn't tell you to do this.
right, to
Yeah.
stop. Huh. This shift is reflected in Hosea 6:6. For I desire mercy, not sacrifice, and acknowledgement of God rather than burnt offerings. But that's just saying what they wanted, right?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't think God took a lot of pleasure in the whole burnt offering thing, but it did. Um, it did the job
Yeah. Very
for the
interesting.
punishment of sin is death.
Huh. Yeah. No, that's just very. I've never looked into that before, so I've kind of zoned out when you were talking. I apologize. I was just trying to figure out because, like I said, it just says that the leadership chose to do that. It doesn't say there was any
Yeah,
word
we all
from
just got
God.
together and we just chose something.
Yeah. So maybe it's in the. Anyway, whatever. Regardless. So there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna horribly butcher it, so I'll probably just save it for the next time. Something to do with, I think it was Wes Huff. He was talking about if God is all knowing and He'll provide for you so that you don't hunger, like He knows that you're, oh man, what was it, that you're gonna be okay or something like that. They're like, well, why do you have to eat? Something like that, right? He's like, well, God is providing for me under the assumption that I do eat or something like that. I just grossly misquoted it, but I thought it was. I'll look it up and I'll bring it to your attention next time. It was because I've been listening to a lot of apologetic stuff to learn how to answer these hard hitting questions, or address the ones that people typically ask, right? Because I had a friend who was accosted by some. They're a part of some Mount Fuji, which is the big mountain here in Japan, cult.
Yeah.
And
Oh no.
yeah, maybe I told you this story, but he they started talking and he's like, well, I'm a Christian, I believe in this. And he's like, have you heard of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? And they're like, he's dead. And he's like, well, he did die, but he rose again on the third day. And they're like, how do you know that? And he showed him scripture, right? And they're like, oh, that's a book of lies. And then they keep going and he's like, well, this clearly lays out. And they're like, well, how did you know? Did you see him? I'm like, first of all, what, did you see him? This was what, almost 2,000 years ago, right? And then he's like, well, no, but I have this scripture. And they're like, oh, book of lies, book of lies. Well, whatever you believe, did you see some spirit in Mount
Right. It's
Fuji?
like, okay, and so these claims
Right,
that you have,
right.
what's backing those up?
Yeah,
Because I got a book that backs them up, and I got a lot of things backing up the book too.
yeah, yeah. And, eyewitness testimonies and this, that, and the other.
Also, there's simply faith. You can do things in the name of Jesus that you
Right,
can't in the name of other people. So
right. And so I got curious and I looked up when Japan was officially recognized. I'll have to look it up again. I think it was like the early 300 AD or something like that. And it's like, so you're going to tell me, wait, Japan was officially recognized as unified. Whoop, I was way off. 660 BC. Yeah, so 660 BC. I can admit when I'm wrong. But still, that is thousands of years after the Old Testament, before they started recording
a
the.
lot of it.
Yeah. So it's like, so you're telling me that your country wasn't even founded until 1,000, 2,000 years after that, and somehow your God that lives in the mountain or whatever it is the right one. But arguments like that it's just circular, right? They just keep running in circles. Like, did you see it? Well, you're the one accusing me of not seeing it. So did you see it? Did you see any of this stuff? So we can run in circles, but he said they got really upset and started raising their voices and stuff like that. And he was just having, trying to have a civil conversation. But it's just like, again, it all goes back to there is a tremendous amount of power in the name Jesus Christ of
He's
Nazareth.
got something them demons in there.
Yeah, dude. It's the way it provokes people from, I don't know, I guess a state of rationalness into anger and just being furious. Dude, it's, I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
you've seen, man. We've all seen those videos of those guys that like a parade or something,
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
that are preaching, and man, people come up to them and they're so mad.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they'll come out just to be mad. And then they'll try to argue
Yeah,
and then just get hit with logic and reasoning, and then they blow a fuse. Something trips, and they just go from already mad to even more mad. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen,
my
dude.
favorite, my favorite one is they're like, "Well, I'm a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think you should be doing this." And
All
it's
right.
like, "No, you're not."
Yeah, yeah,
That just all I heard was, "I think I'm a good person."
yeah, yeah. Well, I got a book you can
They
read.
think they think those words are interchangeable.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
That being a Christian or being a good person, yeah, it's just the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, it ain't.
Yep. 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 And I mean, you can kind of see that from, Jesus was kind and gentle, right? But he went in there flipping tables and whipping and all this stuff. So it's not like we're not called to be huge pacifists, Like if you see wrongdoing, you have to call it out. And I mean, he was bothered to the point that he went in flipping tables and being righteously angry, right?
Yeah, it, that reminds me of I actually like that. I like that part in The Chosen when
Mm-hmm.
that happened
Yeah.
because then the disciples were arguing. They're like, "Well, did he sin there?" That part was cracking me up.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, he had a whip, but he didn't hit anybody
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Right.
He just whipped at the air."
Yeah.
I I thought that was definitely one of the funniest parts of the whole show because
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing that happened.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but to see your gentle and kind master rabbi, you know, choose whatever word you want there, to flip the script and be genuinely righteously angry. I'm sure that was crazy to see, man. It probably scared a lot of
Yeah,
people. I mean, if you believe, like, I mean, they show it in The Chosen, right? But I'm sure it freaked a lot of people out, especially people that probably watched him preach what he was preaching, right? Like the parables and stuff like that. Because you're like, oh, this guy who's kind can get angry too, and it's justified, huh? Yeah.
I
So.
do like I do like how they're showing a lot of Pontius Pilate before any interaction
Mm-hmm.
with him.
Yeah.
Because Pontius Pilate's one of my favorite stories in the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because every time that every time that he met with Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell that there was a part of Pilate that was just terrified
Yeah.
every time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, huh? You make a strong argument somehow.
Yeah.
And he goes out to the Jews. He's like, maybe I release him,
Yeah.
or you want this other really bad guy, huh?
Yeah.
You know?
That backfired.
They're like, no, no, we want that. He's like, you guys are stupid. You know,
Yeah.
you know that's what he's thinking.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, man, they didn't do it. And he's like, yeah, I know, but you also couldn't do anything unless you were given the power to. He's like, yeah, but I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. Every single thing that he says, it just seems like Pontius Pilate's eyes just get really big. He's like, oh no,
Yeah. Oh, he knows.
oh no.
He knows, dude.
Yeah, well, and he even kept calling him the King of the Jews just to make him mad.
Mm-hmm. Man.
No, say he claimed he was the king. He's like, it says what I made it say.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And people always act like he's the worst guy in the story, but he's not the worst guy in the story.
Pretty bad, but not the worst, probably, arguably.
Sure, he is in the end the one who ordered the execution,
Yeah, right.
but he also really didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man.
No one blames Pontius Pilate. People blame the Jews.
Right. Yeah, I don't. He really didn't have much of a choice because they helped him keep the peace, essentially, right? Wasn't that their whole dynamic that he had with the Jewish people? I mean, and I'm going
Something
loosely
like that.
based off
I
of scripture,
mean,
and then
he's got a whole right. He's gonna have a riot on his hands.
right, exactly.
That'll make him lose his job or whatever.
And
Most likely.
well, in the Chosen, they mention him as bloodthirsty. Is that mentioned in scripture? I truly don't remember if it
I don't
is.
know if it's mentioned that of Pilate.
Yeah,
It mentions that of like Herod and stuff.
yeah, right.
I don't think so with Pontius Pilate, but
I wonder if they
I
were
mean, he
pulling.
definitely wouldn't have been he wouldn't have been a great person.
No, no, not saying that at all.
Yeah, but when he was met with someone claiming to be God, he was like, "Man, I think you might be it."
Yeah.
I think there's a whole part of Pontius Pilate was like, "Man, I think this guy might be what he's saying.
Right. Yeah. Gosh, imagine being
I
in that
think you
position.
guys should reconsider."
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "No." He's like, "I don't know. I think you should reconsider again."
Right. Man. No, no, we're good.
He's like, "All right," and then when he dies and the whole world goes black
Mm-hmm.
for 3 hours,
Yep.
is it 3 hours?
Is it 3 or 6?
Pontius Pilate's just like, "I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
You
what do you do?
guys goofed."
You guys
I
get.
wish there, I wish there was a story about Pontius Pilate being like, "I'm so upset about you guys right now. You, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, you guys really screwed the pooch here."
Yeah. Like something that goes into it afterwards, right?
He's like, "And your temple got destroyed." Also, Pontius Pilate would have found that hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that he would have been like, "Ha, ha, 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 ha." You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
If anyone found that funny, it was him.
Yeah. Right. I'm sure their relationship was already
But
strained to the
then he
max.
also would have found it terrifying too.
Mm-hmm. Well, my friend, I've enjoyed this regardless of how I feel about my own performance. But I do have to be getting to work here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
So, to everyone listening, I promise I'll be better next time. I don't know what it is today, but it's something. But I'll fix it.
I'm over here playing. I'm playing fetch with Scribbles, but he's kind of just chewing on it right at the moment. It's a little Santa Claus toy.
Yeah.
He loves it. He loves it.
Wish we could be that easily entertained. Wouldn't that be nice? Just chewing on stuff.
Just chewing on stuff.
Yeah.
What you doing? "I'm just chewing on stuff."
Just, I don't know. This guy just
He
keeps holding it
truly,
out for me.
he truly loves it. He's like, "Man, I love it when he throws me this thing."
That's what he wakes up for, dude. He's just living for it. Living to catch Santa Claus and tear him to pieces.
Yeah. Well, every time I stand up, dude, he's like, "Oh yeah, where are we going?" You know.
I do know.
I stand up. He's like, "That's what I'm talking about, dude." You know. He's like, "I've been waiting for you to do that." He's got no idea what I'm going to do, but he's ready for it, whatever it is. If anything, Jesus should tell us to be like dogs
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Dude, that's a new prayer. That's a new prayer. Let me be a dog of yours,
yeah.
Jesus.
I
Let me be ever so loving and loyal.
I would
I
argue
want to be
that
as loving and loyal as a dog.
I would argue that young children are like dogs, like real little ones. I throw stuff in My daughter runs and gets it sometimes.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I don't play fetch with her, but
Right, right.
you
Yeah,
throw a
I know.
ball and they'll run and get it, and bring it back to you, and wait for you to throw it again.
That is fetch.
Kind of.
That's you playing fetch with your daughter, but it's not like fetch is only for dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we kind of play with baseball and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, actually. That's kind of what we were doing when we
Yeah.
yeah.
You're just waiting for a guy to hit the ball so you can chase after it and catch it. And then you
It
throw
is.
it. Then
It
you throw
is.
it back.
That is what it is. They're all the outfielders. They're just a bunch of dogs waiting.
Yeah.
And then, and dude, I've never even thought about this. There's a joke in here somewhere.
Well,
Then the ball gets hit to them. They're like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, dude.
Finally, they are just a bunch of dogs playing
Yeah.
catch out there.
Yeah, it's
Cool
amazing,
fact.
isn't it? We really are simple creatures.
Sometimes they run into each other. Not that often.
All right. Well, my wife is getting restless in the background too. If you can tell by all the noise
Oh
she's
no.
making. Yeah. So, even more emphasis on me getting out of here.
All right, dude.
All right, man. Until next time.
Later on, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.